but we've the most dedicated driver of the year. James, you have the results.
Yeah, I do. In third place is 162, the Viking Brent Shaw. He got 12.5% of the votes. In second place was 114, Liam Lake. Lakey, Mr. Crown, who has put so much effort in this year, 25.73% of the votes. But just edging him out in first place is 178. They say always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But Kieran, you've got a couple of podiums. Now you've actually won one. 31.61% for 178 Kieran Bowman. And I mean, we could say it all over again, but we've already spoke about how good Slim has been this year, and dedicated driver award is probably the perfect category for him because the dedication, not just for being everywhere. I mean, dedication doesn't just mean the amount of meetings you go to. It means the dedication to the sport, to entertaining, to racing, and putting on a show, doing it in the right way. And Kieran, you are absolutely a very, very worthy winner of the Dedicated Driver Award. In some ways, the Dedicated Driver Award might mean more than Driver of the Year award because it's an amateur sport and being dedicated to that sport is probably one of the best things that could be said about you.
Yeah, 100%. And I think touching upon, we spoke a lot about Slim over the awards just because his features are so heavily. But when we talked about the Predators and what they've done, a lot of the times the drivers being out there have been in used vehicles that Slim's had. So they've been cars that have gone again, and he's given them his cars to build a fresh one just to get sort of more teammates out on the track. And looking at the list, obviously you get the impression with obviously Lakey, completely different ball game with his crowns, and the not only I'd expect the money that's gone into it, but sourcing them and that side of things. There's all aspects, but even the other nominees, you've got Brett Jackson, for instance, in fourth place. Here's another driver very similar to that. The blue and black team mostly are out there because of the efforts that Phil and the rest of the team put in there. Dan Clark 721 as well. Multiple classes at it sort of tends to only stick to Kings Lynn, but when there's been 1500s, 2 litres, and unlimited, he's done every single class. And it takes sort of time to get 3 cars repaired, let alone one. So you know what I mean. It's a great effort there, and Ario just off the back of his transit going to meetings all left, right, and centre around the country. Some couple of drivers who I'd like to sort of just give a shout out to who weren't featured on the nominees, but one we certainly overlooked massively, and apologies to him, James Licorice 51. Again, another driver who he does it out of a 2-bay garage, builds all his cars out of that factor, and he's racked up something like 30 odd meetings for himself, and obviously little Mario as well, 212 builds cars for him as well, and Joey Reynolds, obviously we talked about it from the Northern Banger stats as well, but in terms of that factor, Joey Reynolds has racked up 60 something meetings, although this is the nominees for the National Banger Awards. Sort of 50% of their meetings have been national meetings, rather than the back to basics and rookies that he also does as well. So yeah, hats off for them too as well. But great effort by all. We appreciate the efforts that every single driver goes to get to the meeting, but yeah, these ones especially deserve an extra mention.